Hi everyone, Empress Justice here. If you'd like to check out my daily readings, you can check them out on Empress Justice Tarot, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you'd like to check out the June 2022 readings, that's in 2 parts. You can check that out on Empress Justice Tarot YouTube. The Full Moon and Gesture reading is on Empress Justice Tarot YouTube as well, but I'm going to be filming a live New Moon and Ardra reading on the 21st at 9 a.m. So be on the lookout for that. And also, I want to make you aware of a petition that has been set up by my friend Daryl Brown. He has been an activist against the corruption of mental health for years now. And right now he is petitioning that Mind, the biggest mental health charity in the country, include the side effects of pharmaceuticals in their research, which they have not done. So I'm going to get you the links to the, to that. I'm going to put up the links to the petition now, because that particular video is on this channel. It's on this channel. It's on the Empress Justice Tarot channel. It's on the Fabian Deacon Vocals channel, and it's on the Real Fabian Deacon channel. It's on all 4 Instagram accounts. It's also on all 3 YouTube accounts that I have. It's also on my Facebook, on my Twitter. It's everywhere. So if you want to check out where you can find the links, the best place you can check that out is on my Facebook, Empress Justice Tarot Facebook. You can also check it out on my Facebook. It's public, so everybody can see it. You can also check it out on Fabian Deacon YouTube, Empress Justice Tarot YouTube, Fabian Deacon TR YouTube. You can check that out. If you want to see the petitions for that, you want to see the links to that petition, you can check that out on all the videos that I've posted, almost all of them anyway, of Daryl's work. It's a 2.5-minute video, not even that, it's 2 minutes. So it won't take up much of your time to research into the damage and the effects that the side effects of medications, the damage that the pharmaceuticals for mental health issues can cause. So yeah, it's pretty bad. And the reason why I feel like this is relevant to the discussion of targeted individuals is because in order to discredit us, or in order to lessen our influence in the targeted individual sphere, in order to isolate us and regain control, quite often many targeted individuals will find themselves sectioned or at least slandered with mental health illnesses that are actually greater than what they're going through, in order to cover up the results of the torture, both psychologically and electronically. They will misdiagnose us with mental illnesses such as paranoid schizophrenia, such as bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder. To my mind, in some cases, is not a misdiagnosis, but that can also be used to discredit evidence, or make the evidence that we have of everything that has happened to us inadmissible. If they can claim that we don't have capacity, that will mean that our evidence is inadmissible in court. So that's ultimately the aim. And whilst they are focused on doing that, they will put us on drugs that in Pauline Chung's case as a TI, they put her on drugs in which she wasn't able to speak properly. So there is the strategic use of medications in play when it comes to the lack of admissibility of evidence, when it comes to gang stalking and the claims we've made surrounding gang stalking. Also, they will put targeted individuals deliberately on drugs that might aggravate their physical illness. In the case of Pauline Chung, again, she was placed on medications that aggravated her diabetic symptoms. She's type 1 diabetic. So she was put on drugs that aggravated her diabetes in a bid to make her sicker, and in a bid to prevent her from speaking her piece at appeals, or to prevent her from speaking to other targeted individuals when she got out. So yes, pharmaceuticals and their side effects, best believe those are also being weaponized. So at best, side effects behind medications are used by, are disregarded by nurses in a bid to keep mentally ill people under control. And at worst, they are weaponized against the people who are seen as mentally ill in order to silence and maybe even harm them physically, if not kill them. So what Daryl is doing with regards to exposing the side effects of medication, especially seeing as he's been subject to these side effects and they have affected him from childhood up until now, for him to speak out against this is very important. And for him to ask Mind to be accountable for including the side effects in their research is absolutely crucial. Because not only can, again, the side effects, at best, somebody could carelessly administer antipsychotics or antidepressants to a person in a bid to get them under control long enough so that they can be, subdued, or they can be less of a burden on their loved ones. That's at best. At worst, the side effects can actually be weaponized against somebody who is diagnosed with mental health disabilities, either rightly or wrongly. Okay? So, in order to prevent a second Holocaust of people who are mentally ill or who are deemed mentally ill, the transparency of the side effects of the medication must be made known. And if you're going to have these pharmaceuticals here, I'm not saying that I want them there, but if you're going to have these pharmaceuticals here, there needs to be a nutritional counter to those particular side effects. So that if you're going to administer these antipsychotics or you're going to administer any of these incredibly dangerous drugs, that the patient at least has options in order to mitigate those side effects so that they can get the best of the treatment without their health suffering too much. It's not enough just to say you got to eat healthy, you got to eat your greens, because there are emotional components and physical components behind the overeating that these drugs might encourage. Do you understand? So for me, I would rather the drugs not be there, because people are too fucking careless with the drugs. But if they're going to be there, there needs to be a transparency of side effects and how they affect people. And there also needs to be a nutritional counter. Don't just drag any nutritionist in here and say you got to eat this much veg, this much meat, and these much grains. Okay? There needs to be a specific counter for each side effect of these medications, so that the person can get the best of the medication without it damaging their bodies. But when there is so much advantage, when there's so much economic advantage and economic incentive to keep mentally ill people, not only mentally ill, but physically ill as well. And let's not forget how many genuinely sick people are being turned away from PIP. Let's not forget, if there is more economic incentive to keep people sick and to make people even sicker than they were in the first place, then at the very least, they should be forced to be transparent about that. And I believe that's why the side effects of medications should be included in the mind research surveys. That should be included. Daryl is absolutely right when he says that. So for me, the transparency of that is important. What Daryl is fighting for is especially important. So if you want the petitions, you can go on my Facebook, okay? You can go on my Facebook. It's under the same name as my YouTube. Go onto that Facebook. You can get the petition from there. You can go onto my YouTube. You can get the petition from there. You can go to Empress Justice Tarot. You can get the petition from there. You can go to Fabian Deacon TI. Get the petition from there. You can go to Seraphim Rage Twitter. You can get the petition from there. Empress Justice Tarot Twitter. You can get the petition from there. There is no excuse. It's literally all over my fucking social media. So if you want to get the petition and sign the petition, there is no reason for you not to do so. And please check out the video, because there are experts speaking on the subject of side effects, and there are also people who have been through the side effects of the medication, very serious side effects, that are speaking out about how the NHS and mental health facility, the mental health arm of the health industry, have failed to do due diligence towards their patients because of the taboos surrounding mental health illnesses. Mental health patients, even though they're arguably the most important patients there are, they are also the most neglected because nobody wants to deal with mental illness. So, check that out. I'm going to be signing myself. Check that out. And if you can make a donation, please make a donation. That's if the donation option is there. Because Daryl works very hard on his projects. He's been speaking out against this for decades. Please help him out. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave a link in the description of the way I call it. I'm going to leave a link in the description when I upload this video on YouTube as well. It's important. Make sure you get it done. Now, is there anything else I will need to say before I go? Update on me. There's spying going on, but that's par for the course. There's always spying going on. I don't know. There's not really that much going on. It's just like light gaslighting here and there. It's nothing to write home about. I still get electronically attacked. But the injuries that I sustain when it comes to the electronic attacks are nowhere near as bad as some of the cases that I've seen. It is absolutely disgraceful. You wouldn't believe it. There is this one where, because the gang stalkers like to attack our feet in particular, there is one woman whose feet are completely blistered by the electronic torture. She literally has to put stitches in her feet in order to close up some of the wounds. They're that bad. It's like on her feet, it's just pure blisters everywhere. It's some of the worst cases that I've actually seen. I'm not going to put her name up on here right now, but it's one of the worst cases I've ever seen. And like, again, I've seen cases where people have literally put scans of their brains and there are parts of their brain missing. So all of this that is happening to people, none of it is fake. I'm not making any of this up. It's, oh God, ugly, really ugly stuff. It's really, really ugly. So, yeah. Anyway, I gotta go. I love you, my fellow TIs. Please remember to sign the petition. Even if you're not a TI and you're watching this video, sign the fucking petition. Because if they're transparent with the most vulnerable people, remember how you treat the most vulnerable people in society. It reveals who you are as a person. It reveals who you are as a person. People tell who you are by how you treat people who you think are inferior to you. Or indeed, if you think anybody is inferior to you, that's a telling of who you are as a character or as somebody. So if you want to reveal yourself to be a good person who is accountable, sign them fucking petitions, my guy. Sign the petitions. Anyway, I love you, my fellow TIs. Take care of yourselves. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.